A week had passed since Bert's encounter with Donald's duck. The other engines had stopped Bert teasing, but Mike continued taunting Bert whenever he saw the chance. "Come on, Bert, your passengers are waiting. Be quick now." Mike would laugh rudely each morning. Whenever Bert would try to argue it, Mike would say, "No use ducking the issue, Bert." "Immature, that's what he is," grumbled Bert one morning to his driver. "The others have dropped it. Why can't he?" "I'm sure he'll grow tired of it soon," replied the driver, trying to hide his grin. "Now, come on, we have work to do." Today it was Bert's turn to take the early morning passenger service. He collected his coaches and made his way to the station to meet Duck's connection. But when he came to a stop at the platform, the pannier tank engine was nowhere to be seen. "Where is that duck?" huffed Bert impatiently. "So much for the Great Western way of being punctual." Bert's driver looked at his watch. "We've actually arrived a few minutes early," he pointed out. "Duck will probably be the one who arrives on time." And indeed he was. Duck shuffled in right on the hour. The passengers disembarked from Alice and Maribel and made their way across the platform to board Bert's train. The day was overcast, so the passengers had to sit in covereds instead of open-top coaches. Bert was anxious to leave the station, and a sense of relief crossed his smokebox when he heard the guard's whistle. "Come on, let's go," he called to the coaches as he jerked them into motion. "Ouch! Be gentle," they groaned. The sky had begun to clear as Bert reached the countryside, and his bad mood had subsided. Bert could never explain why, but the fresh country always managed to lift his spirits, no matter what mood he was in. After he had completed his passenger run, Bert set off for the mine to collect ballast trucks. Mike was also there, shunting trucks with Frank. When he saw Bert, he couldn't help himself and started making obnoxious quacking noises as he steamed past. Quack, 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 quack. Bert had had enough and vowed to pay Mike back for his teasing, but he didn't quite know how. It wasn't long before the trucks were ready and a grateful Bert puffed out of the mine back to Aldborough. When Bert arrived, he shunted the trucks onto the chute and rolled onto a nearby siding. Soon, Douglas arrived. He and Bert made idle conversation whilst the ballast was being transferred. "Hey, did you hear the station master at Aldborough has a new cat?" said Douglas, making conversation. "No, I didn't," replied Bert. "Me driver says young Porter does not like it because he thinks black cats bring bad luck," added Douglas with a chuckle. "Why does he think that?" Bert asked. "Oh, he's a very superstitious man. There's many like him. They believe that it brings bad luck if your black cat crosses somebody's path, or if they walk under a ladder." This gave Bert an idea. "Is that so?" he said with a broad grin, and puffed away, making his plan. Later, Bert and Mike were alone in the shed. Bert told Mike about the black cat. "Pah!" snorted Mike. "That's just superstition. Crossing a black cat doesn't bring bad luck." As he finished his sentence, Bert spied the station cat walking across the yard. "Oh no! Here it comes," said Bert, pretending to sound worried. "Here, kitty, kitty," called Mike, and the cat walked past him, brushing its tail along his buffer beam. "Oh dear," said Bert. "Oh, be careful out on the line today." And the little blue engine puffed away to fetch his coaches. Mike was dozing when his driver appeared. "Come on, chap, we have a passenger train to get out." Mike snorted indignantly. "Coaches, lousy uncooperative things. Why can't Rex and Jock take it?" His driver rolled his eyes. "They have their own work to do. You have been rostered to take this train, now let's go." Mike reluctantly puffed out of the shed and to the station. As the passengers boarded the coaches, Mike saw the black cat sitting on the platform. He gulped as the guard's whistle sounded. Only superstition, he consoled himself as he shuffled out of the station. Mike had hoped his journey would go without a hitch, but that wasn't to be the case as he neared Arlesdale. There was a shuddering clunk, and the driver brought the train to an emergency stop. "What's happened?" gasped Mike. The rear coach had derailed, and its axle was severely damaged. The coach was uncoupled from the train, and the passengers had to do the best they could to fit into the remaining coaches. The coach was carefully shunted into a siding, and Mike continued on his way. He began to worry. "What if it isn't superstition?" the little red engine said to himself. "What if crossing that black cat caused the accident?" But then Mike's pride suddenly took over. "No, it is stupid made-up superstition. Derailments happen all the time." But Mike's streak of bad luck wasn't to end here. When he reached the ballast mines, Mike immediately set to work assisting Frank with arranging trucks into their proper sidings to be loaded. "We have received a rather large order for ballast from the Midlands," said Frank. "We'll be working our wheels to the axles with this one." Mike was due to take the first load of ballast down to Arlesborough. He waited while his driver went to speak to the foreman. As the red engine dozed in the afternoon sun, Frank was bringing a truck down on the opposite line to be added to the next train. But he was coming too fast. The trucks were bumped so fiercely, some of the ballast went flying. A large chunk hit the side of Mike's boiler. "Ow!" exclaimed Mike. "Watch what you're doing, you clumsy diesel." Suddenly, Mike felt something running down his boiler and splashing onto his wheels. The impact of the ballast had made a deep puncture in Mike's boiler. "Oh, Lady Luck isn't exactly on our side today," groaned the driver. Then Mike remembered the black cat. "Oh, Bert was right," fretted Mike. "It was that black cat which caused all this. If it didn't brush against my buffer beam, none of this would have happened." His driver started to laugh. "A black cat caused all this?" asked the driver, chuckling. "Yeah," replied Mike sadly. "Oh, that's nothing more than superstition. A myth," said the driver. "Some people believe that crossing a black cat, walking under a ladder or breaking a mirror brings bad luck. But logically, that has never been proven. What has happened today is nothing out of the ordinary. I'm sure Bert was only pulling your wheels. And in a way, it would serve you right for all your teasing." Mike looked down at his buffers. "I suppose so," he murmured. The workman had temporarily patched up Mike's boiler, but he had lost too much water, so Frank shunted him onto the train and pulled him back to Arlesborough. That night, it was Mike's turn to be teased by the other engines. Bert being afraid of a duck, and now Mike being afraid of a cat, laughed Jock. Whatever is this railway coming to? Oh, shut up, muttered Mike, as he closed his eyes in embarrassment.